Hello folks, welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. For some people, the good guy. The guy that can sometimes very good forecast price levels. Sometimes, almost every time, but with a big gap of, when it comes to time. That's something really where I see I have my problems. Calling 25k since weeks and nothing happened. I'm patient sometimes it's really a bitch. And then we have the others. I am a counter indicator. Of course. However, fuck them. That's at least one meme video I like on Twitter. Fuck that. What is happening? My initial comment, I'm not going to make a big one, but I was expecting also on equities, to have, I wouldn't say a sell-off, but something, we pushed up and now we reached today the same level where we started to push up. So nothing happened. Everything was just something like a fake rally, and that's it. One indicator I would recommend you just to check sometimes is really the insider transactions ratio. It's, in my opinion, one really for equities at least, one of the, I wouldn't say the best, but a really useful indicator. It was very high, indicating that insiders were just, selling up, indicating, hey, we are preparing the next dip. And that was mid of April, and then they started, as you can see, just declining, so selling less, and now I guess we will start once again to buy. Now we can talk about why it's happening. That is that such kind of cycle, or forget cycles. Forget cycles. Markets always work and will be triggered because of events. That's the main manipulation tool. Not only in equities or commodities. We remember the spot ETF fake we had in 2021. I did a tweet because of that, because now people are talking about China and Hong Kong since a while. While China and the Hong Kong regulation did a very clear statement just before. They are not going to push all the liquidity to China and Hong Kong. Forget that. They are looking for a regulation, a global, international, worldwide functioning regulation framework. That's what they are looking for. Hey, at least on that level, US will agree, Saudi Arabia will agree, and the other countries, nations will agree here too. And to be honest, that's bullish, if you believe me or not. But until we get this regulation framework, it will be bearish. Because everything is on the table. No one knows exactly what will happen. That's the big thing, The European Commission is just really thinking to let banks use stablecoins and maybe even to reduce a little bit their risk weights of stablecoins. But what they are not telling you is at the same time that for that to make it happen, they will regulate stablecoins very hard. In my opinion, that will open the opportunity for banks to create their own stablecoins. I'm not saying anything. That is just a personal comment. But forget Tether. I have said so many times, forget Tether. They canalize almost a lot of liquidity out of, I wouldn't say full audited and regulated stablecoins, because we don't have that on the crypto space, but Paxos is coming very close to that. And even Circle, not that bad. Instead, both reducing supply and people swapping to Tether. Tether is not audited. Tether had, if Tether would be a person and Tether would have a CV and they want just to apply to my company, I would say, are you fucking stupid? Of course not, because investigation here. We don't need to repeat Tether's, whatever. Just we go forward. However, in my opinion, the whole thing is well prepared. And as we know, even US politicians can trade. Debt selling is a farce. That's fake. They use it just to have the argument, we are having this sell off because of the debt selling, because we didn't reach any agreement yet. But it will happen. Like before. We can have a little bit, I have said that 2 weeks ago or something. We will have some escalations, then we will go closer to an agreement, and depends on that, market will react. And that's what I say. It's not about cycles, it's about events. And they use these events. Like crypto right now, riding, the bull, China and Hong Kong. And that's what I just mentioned on a tweet. And maybe you feel, I'm not directly talking about you, but maybe you are part of it. I remember 2021 with the spot ETF. Just check my tweets from 2021. How many times I have said it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's going to. Because to have a spot ETF, you need a regulated market. Afterwards, every single bank will say, wait. Let me think. My ETF is full regulated. It costs a lot of money to send the regulation reports. And these motherfuckers can have a spot ETF without any kind of regulation? Fuck off! I just want the same. It would be stupid by the governments to let the door open in such way. It would be absolutely stupid. It would be something like, your neighbor can go to the supermarket, can just steal whatever he wants, and no one will care. But you have to pay. What do you think will happen in your mind? What the fuck? If my neighbor can do it, I will do it as well. I don't want to pay for that stuff if he doesn't need to. Yes, that's absolutely, hello guys, wake up. So, crypto will be full regulated. Banks don't care about Ethereum. They don't care about Bitcoin. They don't care about whatever token we like or love with passion. They want tokenized assets. That's the only thing. They just see the opportunity of crypto technology. And that would be great for them. But they don't care about Ethereum, Bitcoin, and whatever. If you think that mass adoption automatically means that Deutsche Bank is going to come and say, oh, okay, I have 30 billions here to spend now in Bitcoin. Yeah, to the moon. No, it's not going to happen. They can make even much more money with their own assets, just tokenizing them. Because that will allow them to reduce the cost, to automate their regulation. Everything that for a bank is a big pain in the ass will be automatically different. You remember what I said about also CBDCs, for example. In my opinion, central bankers will be the direct supplier of CBDCs also to retail. It's not going to be through banks like we know it. In my opinion, banks will be just casinos. Well, sorry, not casinos, but exchanges. Just exchanges. You will buy there some assets. You can buy, sell your house there. You will have a tokenized certification via NFTs or whatever. I mean, even watchmakers are doing it already. And that's great. Well, Luxo, you remember. I like Luxo. I sold all my Luxos. I jumped out. I will rebuy them. Luxo is a beautiful and really an awesome project that just is adding more metadata to the NFTs because they see a different business case here. To reduce copies. Just copies. Nike, the whole green, no, it's a black market. It's huge. It's a multi-billion, if not even trillion market. If I go in Spain to the beach, I will see a lot of African guys, selling me Louis Vuitton bags or the last Nike shoes for $10. And of course that's pain in the ass for those companies, for the original manufacturing companies. And they see an opportunity to reduce or even to remove this risk, business risk, with NFTs if you add more metadata to them. It seems that's what Luxo is doing. So once again, it's a crypto company. But early stage, guys, early stage. It's not only bull, everything bullish, everything, just because someone is saying something. Don't be the teenager that is looking the first time in his life a naked woman. Because sometimes I really feel how infantile this space is. Someone hears a fart and others are saying, yeah, bullish. No. Rethink what they are saying. Don't write just a bull China Hong Kong if you don't know the details. That's the only thing. Yeah, we are all together. I would say the whole space, it doesn't matter if you are bullish, if you are bearish, but we all are a little family. Because mass adoption will mean no family, no nothing. We will see, I started to trade in 2020. What? 2020, you are crazy, you are a pioneer, you should be billionaire. And you say, come on, fuck off. But yeah, we are the pioneers. All these people will buy crypto when it will be much higher in the price. And then hopefully we did our homework and we bought the dip. Not what we are seeing at the moment. I'm not talking about Bitcoin. Absolutely not. Right? I have tweeted today why the governments, also the Chinese one, want just to regulate. I mean, if you don't regulate an asset that's moving liquidity from A to B, how can you then just fight against terrorism? Or if we take a look to the global level and we see that the global, the geopolitics global level or platform is splitting in two parts, you can imagine how easy it would be to finance a counterparty in China, for example. You remember Hong Kong? You remember the riots there? You can do it at any time again. If you need to send some liquidity to China, Hong Kong, to certain people, you could do it. Do you think that's in China's government mind? Do you think they will say, we need to celebrate that, let us open it, crypto, Wake up! Of course not. And the same in US, and the same in Europe, and the same in different other countries as well. It's not going to happen. And stop telling me, yeah, but cash, you can also make that with, but you need to meet each other. It's just absolutely different. And yes, cash is the most decentralized asset you can imagine. Yeah, it's centralized, printed. But afterwards, it's absolutely decentralized. You can have your cash and your pillow. No one will know that. Isn't that great and anonymous? If you guys are so for freedom, democracy, and my asset is my asset, well, then you should be a big fan of cash then. But of course not, because also cash is very limited. What should I do with my cash and my pillow if I want to buy a house in the US? Hey, I sent you my pillow? Not going to work very well. So, yeah, it is what it is. However, we need really to start to think like pros. We need to stop to be noobs. And I know that the engine of this market are noobs. We need those noobs because they are moving the markets. But we, those guys who are making questions and looking for the answers, we need really to be smarter. Make questions, look for the answers. Don't follow everything you read on Twitter, on television. I mean, she said, just saying, oh, I have seen an advertisement, China's TV broadcasting talking about grid, that's bullish. But not financial advice. Shut up. Shut fucking up. It's so fucking stupid. Even when they were banning crypto, in 2021, we had advertisements in China. No one was saying, oh, well, that's just a fake. They are not going to ban because look, even Tether was doing advertisement in China in 2021 when China announced to ban crypto there. Okay? Jesus. It's really frustrating for me. I mean, it's now more than 2 years that I'm spending here in the crypto space, and I really thought it's a progress. We are learning. I mean, some of you are doing it. I really hope. But in my opinion, the mass is still in the same level it was 2 years ago. No progress. Absolutely no progress. And I really think, okay, maybe that's the rule. Maybe I should just shut up. Maybe I really should start to say, listen guys, I refund the money for the analysis and I should stop to do it. I really should stop to do it. Because sometimes you really think it's wasting time. It's really wasting time. I'm making my business. I don't care. I'm just, the whole thing why Inspocrypto started to provide this analysis was to support. Instead, I'm just receiving shit. Really just shit. The market is bullish, you're always bearish, blah, 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 blah. Like ducks. Blah, 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 blah. That's the only thing where I think, okay, so you are not really thinking about my content. That's it. Let us discuss. Bring me some arguments. Don't come with, that's bearish, that's bearish. Meanwhile, Glassnode. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you remember what Glassnode was saying in December 2021? I have tweeted about that. I was laughing about that. I commented their tweets. They were absolutely wrong. But okay. That's fine. Follow Glassnodes. Good luck. Really good luck. Weights are accumulating like no tomorrow. Go for it, champ. Sometimes it's really frustrating really, really frustrating. But at the end of the day, Inspocrypto is a person. It has a private life. It has a good job, a nice income, and a bright future. With you or without you. And I don't care. I really don't care. It's just the only thing is where I think it seems you wasted a lot of time. That's the only thing. And that's really sad to think that, in my opinion. Also pivot. I can't hear pivot anymore. I can't. It's always pivot, pivot, pivot. Service inflation makes 60% of the whole inflation in one nation. Because our economies are almost only services. Everything is service driven. Everything. And the future is indicating more services and less industry. So, I mean, they released the service PMI in the US. They forecasted 53, we did 55. We are on May 2022 levels. And people saying, but inflation is cooling down. I don't need to study economy to know that inflation doesn't come and go. When inflation goes up like it did, it's because something is disrupting. Something is extremely broken. And if you don't fix that, inflation will not go down. Service inflation is indicating, and service inflation has, of course, also a big impact to the industry. To everything. Inflation will go up. Now oil also 3% up. The experts, those who forecasted 2 months ago that will happen, many people just saying, yeah, who cares, in a few months, pivot, everything is fine, yeah, no inflation. How many times did I say inflation will not just go? Check the QT balance on the Fed. Yeah, they declined, but if you check the pre-COVID level, we have a long way to walk, just to reduce all of that. The economy is full. They pumped so much liquidity, it's still there. That's why the markets are doing what they are doing. I don't get that. Maybe I'm super smart and I see that. Something I really doubt. I wouldn't say I'm super smart. I'm one of you. But the only thing I'm doing, every single time I'm reading, I'm hearing something, it doesn't matter if it's extremely bullish or bearish. I'm checking the details. I'm making questions and looking for the answer. That's the key. That's the only thing. If you just repeat what others are saying, you are a lemming. Some of you know what lemmings are. That was a game in the 90s. Yeah, I'm an old guy. However, but you are an ant. And they can trap you, they can play with you, they can do whatever they want. The key is to be yourself. Mother Nature gave you a brain. Use it, guys. Use it. Please, do me a favor, but mainly do yourself a favor and your family and all people that you love. Do it. Let us check the market. So, wealth ratio, we see it pushed up, it braked, now it's coming down back to 55. I mean, yesterday 39%, that's really low. Not the lowest, but it's low, indicating they are sending less bitcoins to centralized exchanges, while we know that we still have a lot of bitcoins there to sell, but usually that also explains we should go up soon. However, I still think we are not done. Still expecting a retest of 25, go even a little bit lower, and it's also possible that we go lower than 25. But that's something we need to see. It's just too early to say hope for. And yes, also here we can see, I mean, you remember 1, 2, 3, weights ratio 1 hour time frame dumped 4 times. I have mentioned in the short term, usually that means the price goes up. Okay, last time it didn't happen. But instead, we had 4 dumps in a row. That usually means we should go up, and that should be then a sharp price move up. If we are done, that's something we need to see. We need to see if more stablecoins are reaching centralized exchanges, what the funding rate is doing, and so on and so forth. So if we check here, you can also see that on centralized exchanges, the liquidity, the stablecoin reserves pushed up very hard since we started to decline, usually also indicating they are going to buy lower. But that's also something we need to see. Yeah, so the weights ratio 30 hours moving average is on its way up at the moment at 85. And if we take a look to the net flow, we can see that today we received a little bit more than outflow. So we had almost 400 Bitcoins inflow. Was that today or yesterday? No, today. Yeah. It's the 1 hour time frame, of course. I was a little bit lost right now. So yeah, let us go forward. So if we take a look, for example, here, we can see at least the stablecoin net flow indicating they are cashing out at the moment. Just before we received a bunch of stablecoins, we can also see here that they, it wasn't really big, 50 millions outflows, just close before we received 542 Bitcoins. Outflow at the moment 190, so here absolutely nothing. Also not big stablecoin inflows happening, really absolutely nothing. To be honest, I'm just really using Trading Light, because on Trading Light you can see close before we started, for example here, to go down, no sorry, here to go down, I was receiving here, that's the beautiful thing on Trading Light. You have here the liquidity. You can see where they are waiting, for example. It can be spoofing at any time, it could be spoofing. But on the other side, you can see the market buys and sells. And you can also here in the settings, adjust a little bit the minimum size of your alerts. And then you can see, for example, you see that they are not done yet. They are still distributing 14, 15, and just close before we started to go down hard, it was 50, 60 selling, not buying, selling. But the price was holding. How is that possible? Well, 70% of the market is future volume. If you go long at the same time, you can maintain the price, supporting it with spot. At the same time, you can sell, the price will maintain. That's what they did. So, at the moment, you can see a lot of liquidity waiting here. If we go down, also very interesting. If we go down, we can see, for example, if I check until, let us see, 25K. You can see here 25K. We have here allocated 4,750 Bitcoins until from 26,200 to 25. At the same time, if you check to the upside, from 26,300 to 27,500, we only have 1,820 Bitcoins, indicating at the moment, without any expectations of spoofing, it's indicating that the main liquidity is here waiting at 25.2. And something I can imagine we will do. Just go another 1,000 down and then push up. We will see if that's just a bigger dead cat bounce that will let us go up once again to 26, 26.5 or something, and then go down even more. That's something we need to see then. We are not here to forecast the future, at least not the midterm. However, I just can recommend Trading Light for that. They didn't pay me, they didn't book me. Unfortunately, they didn't, because I could make promotion for them. I like really their app. The only thing, if you just really want, I can give you my referral. I never use the points I have there. I don't know why. I'm still paying every month, but however, if you want, just DM me. I will, of course, provide you my referral. However, let us go forward. So if we start as usual with the funding rate, the funding rate went up, then declined a lot with the price, and now it's pushing up. So indicating they're right now just looking for more longs. If we take a look to the open interest, that's how it looks like. Now also pushing up, and the leverage ratio is doing, holy shit, I can't see that anymore. Here is that leverage ratio? Yeah, and here, and then it disappears. I don't know why, but until here. Well, it is following the open interest, so it correlates very well to the open interest. However, if we check here, we see that at least today we receive more stablecoins to derivative exchanges, but at the same time, for example, here we had 2,000 bitcoins inflow just last hour, but 3,530 bitcoins outflow. It's not that huge, to be honest. We remember 2022, even 2021, we had 15 something, sometimes even 20,000 bitcoins. It's not the same anymore. Also indicating that the levels, the volume is declining. The volume of any single transaction. That would be, for example, something I would like to see, as in, oh no, I'm not going to say that because it will be part of Phoenicia, but such kind of indicators. I have so many indicators in my mind I would like to provide you, because I think they will be much more useful for us than many indicators we have out there. But you can measure, for example, not because it's an indication what the market is going to do next in the short term, but also to indicate and to show you what kind of market actors are running the market at the moment. That's a very, very important information we don't have yet. So, you notice I'm not talking a lot of Phoenicia because we are delaying. It's mainly because of me, but however, we will do it and we will bring new stuff. I like and look forward to it. Anyway, we go forward. If we check yesterday, they liquidated 308 bitcoins in shorts and 145 in longs. We can also see that the leverage ratio is lifting up. We can also see that the open interest now is recovering, and we can see that the aggregated funding rate is pushing up, indicating, of course, bullish like hell. Well, at least that's what many are thinking. We are back. Everything once again. Hey, that's it. I mean, also on Bitfinex, but both sides. That's a big difference to Binance. We received much more longs now. We have almost 2.2 billions, and once again less than 1 billion. You remember, so many just were taking profit from their shorts and now flipping back to longs. 72 to 28, it's, in my opinion, absolutely not a healthy balance. And on Ethereum, it looks once again a little bit better, but not that much. On Bitfinex, they declined almost 100 millions in longs. I guess some people got liquidated, but at the same time, they reduced almost 7 millions in shorts as well. And the question is, are we done here? Maybe in short term. Maybe. Well, we'll see. I can imagine they will push the shorts once again very, very soon. So let us check here. So, yeah. What? Hello. Next time. Jesus. No. What the hell? So if we take a look here, we can see high leverage position. I don't need even to check the high leverage chart because 250 millions is on the long side. That's the high liquid. Are they kidding me? Every time something new here. We can see it's on a level of 19K, so low leverage longs. The liquidation cluster, the biggest one with almost above of 200 millions, is on the long side. On the short side, it reduced a lot. But until 27, we have a big liquidation cluster in high leverage shorts. So absolutely possible to push up once again to 27.2 or something to liquidate all of them. I would be very careful here. That's it. Let us go forward. So we see that BTC USDT on Binance is now, as you see, flipping a little bit. The question is if that's a dead cat bounce and we go a little bit lower. That's absolutely possible. You know, I still have those 25K in my mind. Same the aggregated doing with delay Binance now with BUSD doing exactly the same, but not USD. BTC USD is still in distribution mode. They are still selling. We can see that it seems that also coin margin contracts following, while the stablecoin margin contracts, for example, right now it seems bouncing a little bit. So also indicating we should go a little bit more up. Maybe it's just a dead cat bounce. That's something we need to see. Binance BUSD pair, you can see it's now pushing up the price a little bit, but nothing big. Bitfinex still don't looking that bullish, still indicating their CBD is negative, indicating they are selling more than buying. Same happened to Bybit, now flipping a little bit. Coinbase, and that explains why the USD pair looks so bearish. They are still in distribution mode. They are selling more. Now thinking about Coinbase, Michael Saylor is really a fucking but good counter indicator. He was saying, hey, it's bullish, and now the price goes down. It's well, however. Bitstamp pushed up, now declining, nothing big. Also the volume, even CBD, not indicating anything big. Kraken doing Kraken stuff. So right now, panic distribution. I don't know really. And yes, Gemini, the peanut centralized exchange with such a low volume, now pushing up really hard. They had a CBD of 60 Bitcoins, so they purchased 60 Bitcoins more than they sold in 4 hours. Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? So if we go forward, counter indicator is also here, for example. That's crazy, but it happens over and over again every single time. So we received here, for example, a negative funding rate that was on Deribit, and then we pushed up a little bit, then we went down, then again negative, then we pushed up again. I guess high leverage and just to liquidate them. And yes, also here, green, Binance. That's Binance. So here it worked very well, we went up. Here it worked very bad, we went down. Here it worked very bad, we went down. Here it worked very bad. We were down here. It worked very bad. So it seems that the best what we can do is on Binance just checking the funding rate. If it's extremely positive like here, it's just too short. If we take a look to the stablecoins, we see, first of all, whale transactions count with more than 100,000. Not really big, it's rising, but nothing big. Now, the big whales, they are right now making big transactions, but it's transactional, it's neutral. It's not indicating they are sending Bitcoin stable coins now to centralized exchange. It can be also a cash out. So here, just to be extremely careful, but it's also a very interesting information that they are very active at the moment. Exchange inflows just closed before we dumped. We received, as you can see here, big amount of stablecoins, but at the same time a bigger cash out as well. So it looks like a little bit like a swap. If we check the supply of stablecoins on centralized exchanges, it's declining. It's declining more and more and more from 545 millions to 470 million. It's not that big, but you know. So if we check the entities, I was checking them, but nothing seriously changed here. We see that, yeah, retail still maintaining, these guys as well lifting up a little bit, these guys lifting up a little bit, these guys lifting up a little bit, market maker declining a little bit, these guys maintaining, these guys maintaining, and that's it. If we check now the count, we can see retail is pushing up more and more and more, receiving more wallets with maximum 1 Bitcoin. These guys here maintaining 1 to 10 Bitcoins, 10 to 100 Bitcoins lifting up a little bit, 100 to 1000 Bitcoins lifting up a little bit. I'm missing here one. Here. Okay. And of course, the market maker declining, so less wallets here. Then these guys lifted up, usually indicating they purchased maybe a little bit more and now shifting to those entities. And here, well, we just have 3 wallets there, as I know 4. Still uncleared what happened to sentiment, to be honest. If we check here what the market maker entity is doing, if they are saying, for example, sending more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, that's something we can see here. Oh yes, 445 Bitcoins. So yeah, nothing. Some, let us say 800 maybe. Miners, yeah, an outflow of almost 975 for today. And we see that on Bitget, the weights ratio is lifting up. And on Bitstamp. And on Gemini. And on Kraken. And on Huobi, but Huobi, forget that. However, the big exchanges are declining in weights ratio. We can also see that the funds are reducing, keep reducing their holdings, indicating they are selling Bitcoins at the moment because the institutional demand, or in general, the demand for their products, Bitcoin assets, are declining. And at least here we can see that spot is recovering a little bit. We need to see if it's starting to push up, indicating spot volume should increase. But if we check, for example, if we check that here, we can see on Binance, for example, spot volume is 3 billions and open interest volume is almost 9 billions. By the way, it's always 24 hours. I don't know why I'm missing that here. So, you know. Oh, Coinbase audited end of December by Deloitte. The same who are auditing Jesus, I'm forgetting the name now. Fidelity. Fidelity is also audited by Deloitte. Interesting, really interesting. But everything else, as you know, as you see, audit? What is an audit? We don't need audit. However, in the last month, we had bigger outflows on Binance, 1.4 billion. And the most interesting part is 800 millions coming to Bitfinex, while Tether was buying Bitcoins. Strange, isn't that? I don't think that's a coincidence. Or is that maybe a coincidence? We will never know because they are not audited. Same days inflows we received in the last week, 927 millions to Binance. Also very useful. And in the last 24 hours, you can see a minus of almost 200 millions. Yeah. So, however, but also here indicating that almost open interest, so the future market is huge compared to the spot one, and that explains. So we need to see if it's pushing up. It means they are reducing their open interest, and instead, or the spot volume is increasing. Let us go forward. So Coinbase between 27.7 and 25, well protected here. Removed some liquidity in lower ranges, and instead here at almost 21, you can see. I love that. You can see what they are doing at the moment. So it seems that part of the sell pressure comes from Coinbase at the moment. Bitstamp. On Bitstamp, also here well protected, everything between 25.7, but as well also here bringing some liquidity to lower levels. Yeah, however, that's also it. Binance BTC USDT, also here you can see well protected at the same levels, but also bringing some more liquidity in lower ranges. So if that's going to be just spoofing and everything here disappears, we can go more down why they are going to buy the why the price is declining. So we need to see. At the moment, I would at least expect a bounce hitting back to our park of 26.8. And then we need to see. I mean, if it gets rejected, the window should be then open to go even finally to 25k. Otherwise, we can go even a little bit more up. BTC BUSD. As you see, that was pure spoofing. Nothing happened here. And now they are waiting here 25k. They are reinforcing. Bitfinex, BTC USDT. Also, these guys removed now 20,500 and waiting here 25 at the moment. So also looking like these guys want to let the price go more down, hitting 25k. But as mentioned, doesn't mean just because we go up and we have a little bounce hitting 26.8, for example, to liquidate all these high leverage shorts, we can't go even more down. That's what some people are really just misinterpreting my tweet sometimes when I say from here we go up. Yeah, but not yet. Yeah, I know. Just short term, a bounce, that cat bounce, whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean that's it. So, however, also here on Kraken, everything also well protected. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't expect here 25k. I don't think that everything here is spoofing because too many exchanges here related, but yeah, we need to see. I mean, the whole thing is here pure algorithm, as you can see. That's not only just some retailer saying, oh, I'm selling, I'm driving the market. It's not going to happen. BitMEX. On BitMEX, nothing. They were selling nice. Now derivatives, BTC USD on Bybit, nothing. BTC USDT, nothing. BTC USDT on Binance. Also, once again, it was spoofing, like mentioned yesterday. It was really just spoofing. They let then the price go down. They triggered 1, 2, 3 orders, but everything else just disappeared just close before, like a flash. And now they are holding everything above of 26, between 25.2 and 26. In my opinion, also that should disappear. Maybe not yet, because they are expecting to push up the price first, but I can imagine that's going to happen next. BTC BUSD, nothing. Bitfinex derivatives, also here, just spoofing. They remove the liquidity at 26,000. They are still waiting here at 27.3, and you can see what they are doing, right? Push, 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 push. So, and then the algos indicating, wait, not that fast. Kraken futures, nothing. OKEX futures, waiting here 25.4 still, and Deribit here, waiting 25.2 as well, but also on lower ranges 24.4 and 24. So that's where I said we need to be careful and then wait. However, at 29 waiting. Also interesting. It would be, to be honest, it would be amazing to push up to 29 and then go down to 20 or something. However, that's it. And now let us talk about my personal conclusion